a bit wet to understand it. So there are enough things to share with yourself.
Hello, thank you. My name's Sophie. Thank you for this film. Just wanted to ask you how long it took you to put the film together, so the clips and everything to make it 47 minutes. How long did it take the process? Thank you.
Yeah, it took 2 years because I have a regular job. I had to find an editor. It was the very first film, so 2 years after the work in the night.
I would like to buy the DVD. Where are you retaining them?
Well, for the moment, there are no DVDs. I'm not really a commercial man. I would have liked people to do it for me, because me I feel bad when it comes to. So I have a pay-per-view. If you want to see, I have a website. I can do, how would they call it, video on demand. So you pay €3 or €2 to watch it. So I can do that. If you send me an email, solorevolts.fr, that's the name of the second movie. That's more about dancing. But anyway, that's how you can have it. But I didn't do no DVD first. That's the thing I would like to meet people, talk about it, and DVD, yeah. So that's the answer. So send me an email.
Hi, Steph. As a Jamaican, I have never known about this thing. I just want to understand, just want to find out how you arrived at this and how you learn about all of this.
Thanks for the question, because I would have liked to find books, films, or the ones who go to university. I would have loved them to do that, and I couldn't find none. So I went by myself. I just compare from what I read. Siaga in the 50s was a specialist of revival, so I read anything, most of the things about revival. The first time I wanted to go to a revival church, there's a sister named Mother Yoti. She passed away. She was from Darlington. She told me to go to one church, not to another one. So I learned, I went, I questioned, and I would like to thank Francine Murray, the mother of my child, who helped me a lot for translation. And she's not a revivalist. She doesn't really interested first. But for the words, she helped me a lot. And no man, I research. I would have loved to go to university and to study it, no problem. But they don't do it. They prefer to talk always, sorry to say, about the same thing. It's always the same story. The Maroons, respect. Rastafari, respect. But the Baptiste one, they don't talk too much about it. Paul Bogle, they don't talk too much about it. Bedward. Alexander Bedward was a man in Hope River, East Kingston, where Sizzla lives now. He had 30,000 followers. He was a revival leader. He organized marches against the white power at that time. He was one of the first to say that to him, the real people elected by God was black. That's a message that's going to be officialized by the Rasta later. But this man in Jamaica, people are mocking him, Bedward. So you have to. I went to close to Hope River. I wanted to see the church. So by myself, I dedicated my time, and I tried to be honest. And yeah, that's all. I'm researching. That's researching. Some people here might have stories in their family, but that's stories. That's I research. I work.
I would like to give you a big clap.
Really what I was going to ask was pretty much kind of similar to what this gentleman asked. What I was going to ask is, what was the reason why you even began? And I think he kind of asked it, but he didn't quite answer it. What what's your passion? Why are you so interested in it?
I don't know if you notice, if you know Jamaica, when they play the drums, it's poco. If you listen to Gregory Peck, that is a Pokemon jam, the rhythm behind, it's poco. And these rhythms are the ones who build the dance hall in the 80s, the real dance hall, I told you, okay? So first it was musically, the rhythm made me mad, sick. That's straight, really a process. I love them so. But in fact, even this music has solid and old roots. And what I discovered, to answer your question, is that these people, they kept alive African tradition in Jamaica. But nobody gave them credit. Not too much people. But when you check it out, they have kept the Maya alive. The red, gold, and green colors have a different meaning from the Rastas, but they're the one who originated it. They made rebellion to be accepted as African descendant in Jamaica. So I said, these people, to me, are the ones who paved the way. And if you, some anthropologists told me that if you notice the decline of revivalists happening during when the trade union started to appear in Jamaica. So to me, this religion is really a Jamaican one. It was the one of the poor people. When you check it out, most revivalists are dark skin, black. Most of the time, they are the poor. Most of the time, they are the simple people. It was their religion because they could link to Africa, they could express their frustration and keep the reading. And I think this way of Christianism is much more closer to the original message, which is to free itself and have compassion for the little. So to me, they are closer to the real message that is in the Bible. But yeah. Did I answer well? Yeah.
That's one thing I actually got from actually watching the film. I don't know whether you felt it or not, but I felt pain. That's what I felt. I felt a history of pain. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, does anyone feel that way? Feel that, you know, it was telling a story, you know what I mean, of years of suffering. Yeah. That's what I felt from the spiritual songs that we can sing, which is exactly how in Africa is expressed as, you know, through the drum, you know, the trampling, and, you know,
that's a big debate. First, when George Liley, it's funny, the first Baptist in Jamaica, first the planters started to Christianize the slaves beginning 19th century, but no slaves really. Only 900 slaves in 75 years have been converted, so it didn't work. There's a black preacher coming from the USA, and George Liley is a Baptist, is one of the first black preachers in Savannah, Georgia. He comes to Jamaica, he wants to build a church. But first he's going to name it the Ethiopian Baptist Church first. And he wants to have the people in his church. So for them to come, he has to accept the Maya tradition. He has to accept the African heritage. And even if he was not militant, George Liley was not a really. Moses Baker is another preacher that was more, how to say, a militant, I would say. But the pain, we have to imagine, they are in a different country with no respect, with no rights. It is their space to be between themselves, to celebrate the way they want, far from the eye of the oppressor. So I think that's why there is the pain. But there is also a continuum with the African tradition, because the baptism, for instance, if you check out all African religions, the water is very important. In Haiti, Boakaïman celebration is to go in the water, in the voodoo, to clean up and be. So it's not only about faith, it's emancipation is to be a free person. So I think that's why we can hear that. And I don't want to talk in place of the people. I try to understand. Yeah, you hear me? I don't want to be but when you are a slave, I don't think you're happy. So that's why there is this pain. And if you check it out, as I said, most of the revivalists, they were from the ghetto, they were from the country, so of course there is pain.
Hi, actually you said a lot of what I wanted to say. In that revivalists, yeah, they hold on to their Africanness. Not just revivalists, but the Book of Minya and the Obia tradition as well. I recently started doing some research, and I also found, I was in Jamaica last summer, and I found that your choice of religion determines your class. Right? So, if you're a revivalist, if you're, if you practice Pokamia, or, you practice other traditions, then you must be from the lower class, right? Because you're holding on to your Africanness. The upper classes, on the other hand, have gravitated to Eurocentric religion. Catholicism is big in Jamaica, right? So, there's a divide. And the other important thing is, in the 18th century, 1700s, there was an anti-opium law that was created. And it is still on books today in Jamaica and other Caribbean islands. And so it is, anything that smacks of, ancestral worship is considered less than. Everybody, they're looked down upon. Although in Jamaica, many of the upper class people have their personal opium mind that they go to. Especially in times of desperation. So they look down on it, but their own beliefs or maybe fears are hidden. So it's interesting. Very, very interesting. Did you find that?
I wanted to ask you what you made of the fact that Siaka was interested in Poco. And do you know that along election time, it was always said that he would visit, as the sister said, he would visit his personal Obia person. Did you feel that the power of our ancestors and our African rituals that these people kept served to strengthen them in the struggles that they go through in Jamaica, one, and two, will they benefit in any way from this film being made?
I beg your pardon, chat to me loud and straight. There's not too much political sway. Ask me.
Which page do you want to hear with me?
I mean, we don't get really what you want.
Alright, I'm saying, what did you make of the fact that Edward Siaga, was a regular visit to the poker yard? One. And two, did you find that the fact that these people and many other Jamaicans held on to their African ancestry, whether that helped them, did you see how that strengthened them in the struggles that they go through in Jamaica? One. And two, will this film go towards helping in their struggles that they go to in Jamaica?
Big question. I'm going to give you only my question, okay? I don't have the full. So I met Siaga, and I went to his office. I was very impressed because all what I read about the 50s, the 60s, and the 90s. But his writings are still rated by the people. So I asked him, I said, he told me he was not a follower. Siaga is strange, he's a strange guy. He told me, I'm not a revivalist because to be an ethnologist, you have to be far from your topic. Okay. But I told him, you know your opposite, they say you are Obian man, they say you are wicked, la la la. He said, if they find it, fine for me. I think he used it. My opinion, my answer, I noticed that that in every African tradition, if you notice, music, every pastor can sing. To be a good pastor, you have to be able to sing properly, beat the drum properly. So politics and music are mixed. If you see in Congo, all the big singers, they are affiliated, they have a political role. So power is not only about politics, it's music too. That will be first time. To help, it did help the person I have met, especially the woman. I'm happy to see, but it looks like a revival church. There are mostly women. Nofadel told me, since I am revival, but they could say, since I am Adventist, since I am Baptist, but since I am in church, I have a small business. I don't have any more trouble with my baby fathers. I have money. So the ones I have met told me it has given them a psychological support. They don't use this word, but in fact their mothers is like a second mother. And there is one anthropologist I met, William Wedenoja. He talks about the notion of mothering. I think these people in revival find the family that they did not have, the affection that they did not have. They find the support. And the woman power in this church is very important. The woman finds freedom. And I know some women that used to go in the dance hall, smoke, do many things, and they tell me, since now I'm in peace, I'm in God, I feel peaceful, I have 10 children, but it's finished for me, the troubles, I have my little shop. So that's the answer. I can give you from my experience. For the bad experience, I just read it in the newspaper. Sometimes there are sexual abuses too, between the leaders. Yeah.
It's in everywhere though, isn't it? It's everywhere.
In every religion, I mean. But that's how what we. And the third question that you have.
The second one was whether the spirit is going to go towards helping them in any way, in what time.
Well, I don't know the upper class of Jamaica, to be honest. I don't know.
Upper class, no. I'm saying the fact that the residents of the pocket, the What Town Church, the revivalists have allowed this film to be made, whether this film will go any way towards assisting them in any way, about improving their lot in any way. Because we know that Jamaica has a lot of poverty.
For me, it will help, period, because it's preserving history. So it will always help. We need more of that type of films that exposes that kind of practice. Because when we don't do that, we lose it.
I don't have no power.
That's the very foundation that makes who we are. And that's the problem that we have today, because we don't have records of those kind of practices that we can identify with.
I don't have no power.
Identity, really. Do you know what I mean? For me, like I said to you, by watching that film, being an African, I can now identify with my Jamaican sisters, because or brothers, because I can see that. I can see that clearly. There might be some that might be in denial, that's it, but I can see it, and that makes me happy. So it does help.
Greetings, Mexico. I thank you for the film, it's so wide open as well. But I have to be truthful with myself, because it's been a Rasta, and what you present to me is Christopher Columbus all over again. Yeah, but it's good, because I'm also from Senton, yeah? And my people in Senton are very warriorful people, because we always take our freedom, fully, and we want to remain free all the time. So this church is part of that freedom. Like you said, Rasta had come from this church because we are looking to identify, and I said, the living God, the truthful God. White man God can't keep with, because all he does is bring to me brutality. So like you said, all the people that was talking about Jesus, because they have to find a deity to keep them free from that slave master. Yeah, the slave master will ill-treat and abuse I up to this very day. Yeah? So Jesus only had come into the people in heart, but they could have run from one plantation to somewhere at peace in the night, where they could chant and be at one with each other. We just pray that these things are coming to an end. In this dispensation, as we see this opening, and I'm just glad to know that my people are always fighters, because I, as a Centurion, I know that my people defended freedom and liberty so that the British then gave me independence in Jamaica, so that we had to, show them say we are strong African and we are still Ethiopian. You see the word Ethiopian came up in it? That means that Ethiopia is our sovereign country. Ethiopia is where the Ark and the Covenant is, so that means it's the head of Christ in the earth. Yeah? So that's where I know that I give thanks. So hopefully that is needed for our black people, and we need to make these films ourselves because it's about our ancestors. Yeah? Give thanks.
Yes, because I'm a reggae radio DJ initially, so I met some famous reggae artists, some Rastamen, and I was asking them about Maya, revival. The man did not even want to hear about it. But I say it's African tradition, because I've been to Haiti too, for instance. So I told him, what is the shame of talking about voodoo? It's African. But in Jamaica, it was very hard for me to find a Rastaman who knows the history and who accepts the revival. If you know the history, when Kapo, the big Kapo, was in Trenchtown in the 30s, he's a high-priced revivalist. Some Rasta came back in services in the 50s. They were coming and said, your God is not in Kapo Church. But there was a fight for the power, I think, between the two religions. But now, it seems to change. They call it indigenous cults, religion from Jamaica. So seemingly, and Barry Chevan, who is a specialist of Rastafari, the ethnologist Barry Chevan, to the end of his life, he said, it seems that the character of Rastafari has been shaped by revival to a greater extent than it is thought. So I would like, as for Kumina, I did not reply you at Obia, but I attended Kumina services too. And sometimes when I talk about Kumina to Rasta, they say, no man, we don't like, that's Obia. Yeah, that's what I, yeah.
Good evening. I grew up in Bedward, and there was a large Jamaican Rasta community. And a few years ago, a friend of mine, a family friend, he went to Jamaica, and when he came back, he said, in Jamaica, you're either a Christian, a bad man, or a batty man. And you know what happened when I went to Jamaica? The first thing the customs asked me, are you a Muslim? And I said, no. So what do you make of that?
Excuse me, your voice is very, it's not clear to me. That's pretty much best.
I was telling you about a family friend who went to Jamaica. He's passed away now. When he came back, he said in Jamaica, you're either a bad man, a batty man, or a Christian. So what do you make of that?
Alors, I'm sorry I did not get fully every word, but I know this joke. Like the one who said Jamaïcains on the Friday, on the Saturday they go to Pasa Pasa, Sunday morning they go, after they go dancehall, and on the Monday they listen to Shibata. Alright? So it's the same type of thing. Well, me no business really about that. Honestly, me, I wanted to testify that I don't understand why this class of people is not giving credit. That was my first. I don't want to go too much in this. I let you do the thing. Me, I don't understand why the ones who kept the flag high are disrespected. That I don't understand. I think that they should get credit. And so I don't know if I well answered. And to answer the lady about the obia, I did not try to meet and to study the obia, to be honest. Because it's like for gangs or ganja. I would like to do a film, not talk about gangs, ganja. Some of the revivalists were ex-Batman, you know.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that. Like in church, like, and some of them said I'm not number two. That's not my business. Honestly, to me, I did not get.
Hi, no, it's me. Thanks for the film. So you mentioned some other places like Haiti and in Brazil and so. So what happened for all of the diaspora is they try to keep their traditions, and because of the laws imposed on them, some of them mask the thing. So my question is, do you have plans to then make more films expanding this stuff? Because I'm from Trinidad, and we are spiritual Baptists, where they do lots of the same things and so on.
Exactly. And in St. Vincent too, they are spiritual Baptists. Okay. I think what I have discovered, that's my theory. Okay. I think it was easier in the Catholic spheres, countries, Trinidad, Haiti, Cuba, Brazil, to keep the voodoo alive. Why? Because in Catholicism you have sense. The sense is a way to let the African goddess, God and goddess appear under the name of the Catholic sense. When in Jamaica, Protestant country, it's very bad to say you have different God or half God, I would say. So to my point, that's why in Haiti, when you go to Haiti, you see the voodoo choirs, you see the flag, people still, they see what they still go away. But it's accepted. In Brazil, it is accepted condole. So I think, I don't know for Trinidad, but you are between the two, I would say. You're Catholic in Spanish, and in a way you are Protestant. But I think it's hard in the Protestant countries to let the possession, especially the possession. So the Protestantism say it's the Holy Spirit. But in Cuba, Haiti, they will say Shango, they will say Sonorisha. Anyway, did I answer well? No? Now tell me about the Trinidad.
If I may say so, I think what you're trying to say is planning to do more or trying to expose more of those practices elsewhere as plans. Basically, you're going to travel around to do more of this.
I have ideas of other things, but who give the message brought by reggae by Bob Marley from the 70s that spread the world? He gave me a conscience, he gave a conscience to lots of people. So that's why I'm so attracted by the way of singing in Jamaica. But the spiritual Baptist in Trinidad, I watch videos because now with internet, my fame, but before you didn't have internet, so I saw in Trinidad it's powerful. Yeah, I wish, you know, it's a lot of work, lots of time, money, and determination, perseverance. But I'm very surprised the main medias, the main university, the scholars, they're not interested in it. They want to talk about your Rasta, about Maroons, Nani. Well, I saw the same story. But that, I don't know why we don't talk about it. I did the film. If not, I would have stayed at home on holiday. You know?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, first I just want to thank you for that work. I think it's very informative, and thank you for yeah, and I hope that I would love to see something more in terms of how the revivalists then transform, like a little bit more
Rastafarian subculture in Jamaica. There was a lot of questions I'd really like to ask, but one of the things I find with revivalists now in Jamaica, it's a dying religion. It is dying. It's not as it's there, but it's not growing. It's in very small pockets, and that is because of the narrative that's out there. It's voodoo, it's witchcraft. And a lot of Jamaicans will still turn to the revivalists when they need a little healing or they need something done, or they need to fix something in their life, or they feel like they're being plagued by. A lot of people in Jamaicans will still find a revivalist church and attend. I was there, I had that carload of people telling me, go up to this hill, they're going up, and it's a revivalist church. So it's dying out, you know, one of the things I learned from your film is that it's the Rastafarianism was kind of birthed out of the revivalists, and I do see the similarities. My father and I grew up in a big Rastafarian culture community, and I know, like you said, you can't really bring this kind of, you know, voodoo, whatever to them. They'll kind of think it's, you know, I think it's sad because some of that is our rich legacy that we should be holding on to and cherishing. The power of healing, the power of using herbs to do things, you know. And I go to modern day church and I think they're boring. They don't sit down, there's no really dancing, there's no really drums, and everybody gets so funny now. If you beat the drum, they say you're gonna invocate the spirits and people are gonna do this and that. And the hypocrisy of it is that if we look around and you watch TV, there's so much witches and witchcraft and warlords on the streets of Brixton these days, and so much esoterics that is being written and preached, and nobody's saying anything. So I think we really need to rethink and look at our history, our legacy, and the things that we can use. And I'm hoping that, you know, that documentary will help us to not to be ashamed of where we're coming from. And like I said, you know, I find it very informative, and I hope I'd like to know from the Rastafarians why they kind of have that attitude now against, you know, what happened, what was, you know, that transition, because something kind of happened, and I'd really like the Rastas to tell me more, like, why it went to Selassie and that link, and know, you know, the Jesus Christ element kind of like, you know, the lady here, I can sense that she kind of, the white man religion, you know, as against our black history, our black eccentricity, you know, like, what happened? I really like somebody to explain it a little bit more. I still not getting that link, but I'll probably go away and do my own research, you know. But thank you very much.
Thank you. There's a beginning of answer in the film Rockers. If you check it out, there is one scene. You see a baptism, you see a revival baptism with wonderful singing. And you see horse. Yeah. They might look at them and they tease them. I think it's a conflict of generation. I think we were in the 60s, 70s, Che Guevara, the revolution time. I think there are different factors. About the fact that the real revival is dying, but I think that it's taken by the Pentecostalism. Okay? The
Uncle, I'm doing something.
The revival faith, the original one.
The anti-method.
So that's true. But this one is going up. If you see, there are more gospel singers. I would like to tell you to listen to Sister Pat. She's a wonderful singer. She's on YouTube. She's the one who sings Masaganaga. There are 2 CDs you can find in the street of Jamaica. Sister Pat. But yeah, the Pentecostalism. Anyway, Jamaica, if you want to be respected, you better say you are Pentecostal and revival. Yeah. And the one who said we are full of revival, yeah, respect to the ones. But yeah, that's big issue.
2 things. In the movie, you didn't explain, Lady Red, you didn't explain to the shrine in front of our shrine.
She was what?
She was in front of our shrine when she gave the people the flowers. Right. You didn't explain that part. Yeah. That part you didn't explain. Okay. Alright. The next question is to you. Do you believe in all of that?
I can't tell you, man. Seriously. Me not say God is black, God is white, God. Me no business. Me business is righteousness, loving. Okay? So to me, Yeah, the way they worship is closer to the original message of the Bible, to me. Because to me, Jesus, if he was here, he would be standing. It's a bit propaganda I'm saying, but for the black, presently in Libya, they were slaves. Alright? So that's why I have no problem as a white man to support this type of church. Of course I don't believe in Obia. Of course I don't believe. That's the colonial will tell us it's Obia. The woman talked about anti-Obia laws. Okay? If you notice, I discovered something in the film. The same books were forbidden in the Caribbean, in the Indian Ocean. They wanted the De Lawrence book. The De Lawrence. Alright. Everywhere it's forbidden. Because they don't want the spiritual way to come up. So me, I don't believe in Obia. I try to be a good human being. Okay? Just that. And first question you were mentioning, why do women give flowers?
To
the end. Yeah, because at the end they are living. Sure, they're singing blessed associant, and she gives, I don't know really the meaning, because each pastor can give you different explanations. There's no one explanation. So similarly, when you live, they give you that as a, but this power is named, let me remind.
He's calling them all bread.
Quantum, thank you very much. It has a spiritual meaning. Thank you very much. Because in my second film, there are interviews. Quantum, yeah. So it's a way of living.
She's actually well. She's talking about Bishop, she's well. She's here. Yeah.
She is. And if you go to Jamaica,
just to say that, you know, in Ghana, we actually call Obenye. So basically it means bad spirit, actually. It means bad spirit, but it also got Maya, which is basically to do with good spirits, to beware of negative spirit. Do you know what I mean? So you can use it both ways. Do you know what I mean?
Hi. Hello. Am I? No? Hi. Yeah, I want to say thank you very much to Language Library for putting this on. This is just absolutely amazing. I was born in Jamaica in 1955 and I lived there in 66. I spent a lot of my formative years in St. Thomas, a part of the country that's known for the spiritual traditions. We lived in a yard that our slave ancestors lived in previously, and we have a rich culture that includes them in many ways. People say they can hear the cry of the slaves over in the place that was a plantation. And I remember distinctly, you know, going to church on a Sunday and barnyard. I don't know if people know about barnyard. On a Friday. This was just amazing. You know, I really felt, you know, I saw so much of that in this film. I've been going back to Jamaica and kind of trying. Every time I go, I say, I want to go to one of these places, I want to see this. He said, no, Kumina. You know, he said nothing like that because I remember how beautiful an experience it was at the time. said that there was no research done. I don't know if you come across Rex Netterfeld stuff. He was an academic in the artistic tradition, and I mean, there I saw, you know, the replication of the type of music and the type of dance. And I think that there are some people in the university in Jamaica, you know, exploring the dancehall tradition and linking it to the Africanness and so on. I must also say that I've spent some time in Africa. And I also saw, I was shocked when I was in Sierra Leone to see people looking like Pocomania, you know, living like Pocomania. You know, so those connections are just so wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you go St. Thomas, you can write to Nicholas Allen. Nicholas Allen, on my behalf, is leading the Unstoppable Communal Band in Harry Castle. Okay? So, he's a communal band leader. I know about this guy. To me, the university is a bit, they still don't give too much credit to the revivalists. And, well, okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
Hello, Monsieur. Thank you ever so much for enlightening me. I was trying to find, I was grade 6, looking at the thing. As a child, curiosity, I used to like street preaching and be good and listen and to these people. And I could see a bit of that, but I've never been in one of these churches. But on a whole, we as black people, we are spiritual people and we are earth people. And it's so nice to see this embedded and passed on to us. And because of what should I say, trying to suppress these things. But it is there in your genes, sooner or later it will come out. And I'm so glad to see you go. May have picture. I know it was supposed to be Nigeria. And I'm thankful ever so much for coming here and showing this to us. I appreciate it so much.
Any more questions? One more? We'll take one more. Okay, Caroline. That's one more question that we'll run down.
It's not really a question. I think all over the Caribbean, we try to get back to our roots, to know more about heritage. I'm coming from Guadeloupe, it's a French Caribbean island, and I played drum too. And years ago, drum was a kind for outcast. Playing drum was for outcast. A bit like what I feel this about the conversation. I've been in Jamaica too for a funeral, and in the night, so I was playing the music, not related to this, not reggae, it was just an organ, a bass player, and a drum kit, and this music opened my eyes about the same power of the music power. And for example, in Guadeloupe now, everybody want to play drum, want to learn the rhythm, to get back to this. And it's a revival to by the drum. And I like talking about communal and thinking all this thing. And that's a part of our tradition. We have to keep this alive, don't let it pass away, because it's what our ancestors fight for this. But I think all over the Caribbean. You have Bel Air in St. Lucia, in Trinidad, anywhere where this drumming beat we have, is that our feeling.
Thank you all for coming. Yes, obviously with every thing always must come to an end. So please, please give it up to Stephen, please. And before you leave, please
please do fill it in before you leave. Don't just leave. You know, enjoy yourself, yes, but do fill in the form for us here. Thank you very much. It won't take long. It will take you about 5 minutes.